Good morning, YouTube. How y'all doing? I'm coming through real quick to give my perspective about Chrisean Rock. Now, I'm not too familiar with Chrisean and Blueface and Zeus and all that stuff. Actually, I never even heard of her until it was the viral video of her giving birth to her son or whatever, and then that's when I kind of went back just a little bit to see what the hype was all about. And I've come to learn that her and Blueface had a toxic relationship. He introduced her on a show that he had, and they somehow got into a relationship, and the relationship was very toxic and abusive on both ends. I did a little bit of background just to see what was going on, what the hype was about. But I still don't really know everything, though. But I think I'll get the gist of what their relationship was about. So, there's this picture going around with Chrisean in Walmart with her baby in like one of those chest strap things, and the baby's all bent over backwards or whatever. So people are reacting to that. Now, a couple days ago, when I became aware of her and Blueface, I followed them on Instagram just to see like how everything was going to play out ever since she had the baby, because from what I understand, she was supposed to be done with him, moving on with her life, and just done with the whole thing. But then Blueface came out with a video with her in it and the baby. People were reacting to that, saying, why is that baby in the video at the gas station? People pretty much been coming at her about this baby ever since she had him. Some of the stuff I agree with. Some of the stuff I felt like people were reaching too hard or whatever. So when this picture came out with the baby bent over like that, bent backwards like that or whatever, people really are like going crazy about that. And what I'm about to say is a legend in my opinion. So I was reading some of the comments on Twitter, and someone came to her defense and pulled up a little sling thing and was like, well, that's the way that these new ones are built like that, for him to have a headrest and all that. But even still, like, you can't convince me, regardless of how a thing is built, that a baby is supposed to be positioned like that. Even if it was made to let them lean back a little bit, she obviously didn't have it on right, because, like, no. So, this is the thing. And like I said, this is just my opinion. And from what I've seen so far, some people, when they have kids, they automatically get that mothering, nurturing instinct. And to me, it just seems like Chrisean does not have that. Chrisean is the type of person that's going to have to be taught certain things. And because if her motherly nurturing instincts kicked in, she would know that her and the baby need to be in the house somewhere, sitting down. That baby needs to be fed and have plenty of rest, and she need to be holding that baby, supporting that baby's back and his head. She just need to be sitting down somewhere. I mean, I understand maybe she wants to get back to work, get to the money or whatever, but you have time for that. Right now, you need to be nurturing your baby. And then I did catch a live that she did the other day when she, I guess, moved into her new house over there in LA. And when she announced that she was getting ready to change the baby's name. Now, another thing, let me get on that real quick. That is the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. Why would you change that baby's name? You know what I mean? Like, when you had the baby and you had the chance to name your baby whatever you wanted to name him, you decided that you was going to name the baby after you, which I think is the dopest thing ever. You know, that way there's no misunderstandings about nothing. He has my name, which I think is a nice name for a little boy. And basically the way it's coming off is like you did that out of spite to get back at Blueface. But now that you done signed, I guess you're with his label now, and y'all seem to be getting on good terms, now you want to name the baby after him. Like, girl, like, this is a simple ass little girl, and then you really can't even be mad at her, because I mean, I don't know how old she is, but everybody keeps saying like she's like super young, like 20 or something like that. You know what I mean? So I mean, you can't really be mad at her for being childish, because she basically is still a child. But even with that though, like, when I was 20, because matter of fact, I had my son when I was 19. So, you know, just the thought of that, like, who thinks of that? Oh, me and the baby dad, we on good terms, so I'm gonna give him the baby his name now. So what's gonna happen when y'all fall back out? You gonna change the baby's name back to yours, and then once y'all get back on good terms, you just gonna keep ping ponging the baby's name? Like, girl, leave that baby's name alone. That's what's making me think like you first of all, it's one thing like if you know you in a relationship with somebody and you got pregnant, and for whatever reason you decided to have a baby, you know, that's your choice, you having a baby. Things happen. But it's starting to really come off like she had this baby, you know, for this quote unquote clout thing that's going on. I don't know. Like, I never heard the word clout so much in my life. Like, everybody's just throwing this word clout around. Like, I don't know. But I guess, you know, but that's what it's coming off to me as. It's like she just had this baby for clout. You know, for all the wrong reasons, basically. Like, she had the baby for all the wrong reasons. So, anyway. Yeah, but on this live, you know, people were saying certain things to her as far as, I mean, I don't know, I guess changing the baby's name. That was the talk before this whole picture of the back bend came out. They were, you know, telling her not to change the baby's name. And so, you know, she's getting a little bit frustrated with the whole thing. And at this point, I think that she realized, like, even the thought was a stupid idea. And instead of saying, you know what, y'all might be right, she gets defensive and then tells people that how they gonna give her advice instead of giving her advice to get their money up. Now, from my experience, when a person resorts to talking about money and how much money they have, they don't have any other defense for their stupidity. Like, I think at that point, she knew how stupid she looked trying to change that baby's name. And so, like, the only thing that she can come back with is, you know, basically, like, I got money. Like, girl, if you don't go sit your bum ass down, don't nobody care about your money. Like, everybody has money. You know what I mean? Like, look at how you got your money. You basically sold your soul to the devil to get to the money. So you're not really doing nothing big. Like, you're not really doing anything big. Like, if anything, like, the whole image, everything about you, what made you famous or whatever, like, you got famous from what I've seen so far, is for being a nut. You know what I mean? Like, you ain't get famous because you're like, I mean, I guess they said you like a track star, or you know, you were a former track star and all this other stuff that they said that you was doing before you got famous or whatever. But none of that is presented in why you became famous. So none of that stuff even really matters. You became famous from being a nut. So, you know, talking about can't nobody give you advice unless they got money. Like, girl, like I said, go sit your bum ass down. Like, don't nobody care about your money. What people are telling you, you know, you might want to take heed to. Like, you need to grow up. So anyway, so now looking at the picture, yeah, I ain't like that. I ain't like that. And I'm not broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, I make a good living. You know what I mean? I'm doing okay for myself. It's just, you know, how you gonna insult people with good intentions, you know what I mean, that obviously care about you and your well-being. How are you going to insult them because you don't want to hear what they got to say? You know what I mean? When it's really nothing but the truth. Like, changing that baby's name is dumb. Why would you change the baby's name? Anyway. So, now it's this picture where she's standing there and the baby's all bent over backwards. People are really coming for her about that. And I don't care I don't care how a object was made and what it was made for and what it was made to do. That baby shouldn't be in that posture. Like, that's not a natural posture for a newborn baby. That's not even a natural posture for an adult. So no, that shit ain't cool. And you know, unfortunately, you know, I just think that she got a long, hard road ahead, because it looks like she's not listening to nobody. You know, I guess she feel like she got it all figured out, like she grown now because she had a baby. But clearly, like, this is still a little girl. And she definitely does need some guidance. Like I said, motherly instinct and nurturing does not kick in for everybody. So, you know, hopefully somebody in her family, you know, an older person, will get a hold of her and tell her to sit down somewhere. You know, all you gotta do is sit in that house with that baby, you know, run your errands where you need to. You need to go to the store for this, that, and the third, or whatever. But other than that, you need to be nurturing that baby at home, not in the studio. You know, not making music videos. I mean, if you got so much money, you should be able to afford that. If you don't at least sit down for like six months, you can at least sit down for like 3 months and just nurture your baby. Let him get stronger. Let him, you know what I mean, grow up a little bit before you start running the streets with him like that. I ain't never seen nothing like that. That's crazy to me. But like I said, everybody don't got it. Everybody doesn't have it. And that's where I'm at with it. You know, after doing my little background check and research on who these people were, like I said, I have followed both of them on Instagram or whatever just to see what was going on. But after these couple incidents right here, I decided to unfollow both they ass, because you know what? I'm not getting ready to let none of that toxic drama enter my fucking energy fields or none. I don't got time for that. So yeah, I unfollowed her. If something happened to pop up on my timeline here on YouTube or something like that, I might look at it. But following, I ain't got that to do. I started instantly getting annoyed and irritated. I said, you know what? This girl is damn batshit crazy. And one thing I hate is a person that you can't nobody tell them nothing. So, especially at that age, you know what I mean? Like I said, I could see if she was like a 35-year-old woman with a little bit more experience or whatever in that department, you know, and she feel like, you know, she really got it. But and then how do anybody expect for that to really kick in for her? You know, that motherly instinct, You know what I'm saying? Like Chrisean is a girl dude. You know what I mean? You know, like AKA a tomboy or whatever. So yeah, you know, those are the worst. Those are the worst parents. I mean, from what I seen, you know, like the worst women that have kids are the girl dudes. You know, nothing about their life or lifestyle is centered around nurturing children. So I'm not saying she don't love her son. I'm pretty sure she do. And if she tapped into, you know, the blessing that he really is, you know, he could potentially change her for the better. But, you know, all that faking that it seemed like she was doing, going to get the baby Christian and baptized and all that, and talking about God and changing her life and all that, you know, she backsliding like a motherfucker. Like, I don't know, and excuse my language, y'all, I do cuss a lot. So, you will hear cuss words coming out of my mouth. That's just how I express myself. But, yeah, so that's all I really had to say about it. Like, she need, you know, some aunts and moms and older cousins or something to come help her with that baby and make her sit down somewhere. She needs to be sitting down for at least 3 months. You got so much money, you should be able to afford to not work for a minute and nurture that baby. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about it. Y'all take care, and I'll talk to y'all later.